Today we're covering bitterness, the star of Wormwood. I ate the book. It was sweet in my mouth, but bitter in my belly. We're covering several scriptures in the King James Version Bible that will go over about the bitter belly, the star of Wormwood. We're going to start off with Revelations 10:7-11, which states, "But in the days of the voice of the seventh angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of mighty God Ahiah shall be finished, as he had declared to his servants the prophets. And the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again and said, Go, and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand, and I ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey, and as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And he said unto me, Thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings. The great day of Ahiah mighty God is near. It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of Ahiah, the mighty man, shall cry there bitterly. Woe unto them that call evil good, and good evil, that putteth darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. Sigh therefore, thou son of man, with the breaking of thy loins, and with bitterness sigh before their eyes. For the lips of a strange woman drop as an honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil, but her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death, her steps take hold on hell. The ways of Zion, who is Judah, do mourn, because none come to the solemn feast. All her gates are desolate, her priests sigh. Her virgins are afflicted, and she is in bitterness. He had filled me with bitterness. He had made me drunken with wormwood. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. And the third part of the waters, which represent people, became wormwood. And many men died of the waters, because they were made bitter. Thine own wickedness shall correct thee, and thy backsliding shall reprove thee. Know therefore and see that it is an evil thing, and bitter that thou hast forsaken mighty God Ahiah thy Elohi, and that my fear is not in thee, said Ahiah mighty God of hosts. For lo, I raise up the Chaldees, that bitter and hasty nation, which shall march through the breadth of the land, to possess the dwelling places that are not theirs. They shall be burnt with hunger and devoured with burning heat, and with bitter destruction. I will also send the teeth of beasts upon them, with the poison of serpents of the dust. And it shall come to pass in that day, said Ahiah mighty God, that I will cause the sun to go down at noon, and I will darken the earth in the clear day. And I will turn your feast into mourning, and all your songs into lamentation. And I will bring up sackcloth upon all loins, and baldness upon every head. And I will make it as the mourning of an only son, and the end thereof as a bitter day. But if you have bitter envying and strife in your hearts, glory not, and lie not against the truth. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. Therefore, I will not refrain my mouth. I will speak in the anguish of my spirit. I will complain in the bitterness of my soul. He will not suffer me to take my breath, but filleth me with bitterness. My soul is weary of my life. I will leave my complaint upon myself. I will speak in the bitterness of my soul. For thou writest bitter things against me, and makest me to possess the iniquities of my youth. Repent therefore of this thy wickedness, and pray mighty God Ahiah, if perhaps the thought of thine heart may be forgiven thee. For I perceive that thou art in the gall of bitterness, and in the bond of iniquity. For Ahijah mighty God saw the affliction of Israel, that it was very bitter. For there was not any shut up, nor any left, nor any helper for Israel. Follow peace with all men, and holiness, without which no man shall see mighty God Ahijah. Looking diligently, lest any man fail of the grace of Ahijah mighty God, lest any root of bitterness springing up trouble you, and thereby many be defiled. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. And I will pour upon the house of David, and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the spirit of grace and of supplications. And they shall look upon me whom they have pierced, and they shall mourn for him as one mourneth for his only son, and shall be in bitterness for him, as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn. What shall I say? He hath both spoken unto me, and himself had done it. I shall go softly all my years in the bitterness of my soul. Behold, for peace I had great bitterness, but thou hast in love to my soul delivered it from the pit of corruption. For thou hast cast all my sins behind my back. So we just covered a few scriptures in the King James Version Bible regarding bitterness and the store of wormwood. Thank you for listening.